Hello, this is a tutorial on how to create a geodatabase and domains. First thing you do is right click, New, File, Geodatabase. And the example we're using today is a geodatabase on microclimates. So I'm going to name it microclimates. There we go. And first thing we do, we want our domains. So the fields we'll be using is ground cover, humidity, dew point, temperature, wind chill, wind direction, and wind speed. First domain we'll start with is humidity. And we'll be using that for the humidity field. And we're going to want a range on that of 0 to 100%. So we'll put the field type as a floating integer, a range from 0 to 100. There we go. Now for dew point, temperature, and wind chill, we'll need a range of 0 to 60 degrees. So we'll make that domain called temperature. We'll use that for temperature at the surface as well as temperature at head level, or 2 meters. Dew point and wind chill. And we'll make that a floating integer as well. 0 to 60. Alright, well, actually we'll make that negative 30 to 60. There we go. Alright, next is wind direction. And we'll make that'll be for the wind direction field. Floating integer from 0 to 360 for added detail. Then wind speed is our next one. Oops. There we go. And that will be used for the wind speed field. That a floating integer from, let's say, 0 to 50 miles an hour. And there we go. Now this one is going to be ground cover, and we'll use that for the ground cover field. This one will be a little different. It'll be a text field. So we're going to do coded values. And let's see. There we go. And for the different types of ground cover, first we'll do grass, and we'll have a 3-letter code for each type of land cover. So grass will be GRA. Grass. Specify which kind of grass, so any grassy cover will do. Next code, we'll do snow, since it's winter right now on campus, and any amount of snow we will mark as snow. Water. Any depth. Next we'll do concrete, C-O-N. Then, let's see, sand. Blacktop. Gravel. Oh, we already used GRA, so I'll use GRV for gravel. And we'll have an other field, which we can use when we're collecting the points to add a unknown land cover into the notes field. And there we go. So we have 5 domains for our Geodatabase. Next we'll create our feature class of points that we'll be using to collect the microclimate data. So we're going to do right click, new, feature class. I'll call it ground points. That's a good name. And it will be a point feature class. And we'll use the same coordinate system as we're already using. Okay, so now we have to make our fields. So we'll need, first field we'll need is wind speed, and that will be a floating data type, and we'll use the wind speed domain down here in field properties. Yep. Next is wind direction, which will be a floating integer, and we'll use the domain wind direction. Humidity is next, and there we go. Also floating. Make that under the humidity domain. Now for the next few, since we only made one domain for both, or for all temperature, dew point, and wind chill, we'll select that domain for each of the following. So first, temperature at the surface, and then temperature at 2 meters above the ground, same domain, and then dew point with the same domain, wind chill, and finally ground cover, which will be a text field. We'll have the domain as ground cover. So we'll just be able to select the coded values in the field based on what the ground cover is. And we'll of course have the notes field for any variables that we don't cover in these fields above. We'll make that empty so we can have extra room to write all we need. And there we go. Finish. And here's our ground points feature class with our fields. Notes is over there too. Like that smaller. There we go. So we have wind speed with the wind speed domain, wind direction with the wind direction domain, humidity with the humidity domain. These four have the temperature domain of -30 to 60, and our coded values for ground cover. And any extra information can be written in the notes field out in the field. And that is how you create a geodatabase with domains. Thank you.